round up. Is it the double orbs to save them? Chris will be positioned towards Ivy as usual. Not going to commit to the tighter angle and see if he can challenge Fallen in a 1 versus 1. It's actually just Tarek on the other side. He's got a UMP. Money not great on the T side. So if they can win this round, Mousesports, there's definitely a chance to bring it back. A map like Train, which is heavily CT-sided, you would say there's absolutely a chance. And Oscar, oh, a narrow miss. Smoke goes down, he'll have to reposition.
Eagle for Sonny on the Train. To try and lure them in. He's got support from Chris. He gets closer. Oscar and Chris doing all the work with the AWPs. It's perfect. Rop's still inside of the smoke. Can time this to perfection against Fur. Who knows there's someone to control. Manages to get the spray controlled and find the head of Chris J. Tarek's going to get gifted one as Oscar walks around the corner. And sometimes size does matter because that gun a little bit too long. For once small pays off, he wouldn't have revealed his position too soon, but Sonny's turned this around again with a deagle. It's all down to Tarek. Good shot onto Rop's bomb, still on the ground. Spots it, oh my, he nearly got it quickly, but he's given up 2 shots, still somehow alive as he closes the gap to Sonny. And closing the gap, he's lost HP, and that deagle becomes more menacing as he has the scope already in, but lost track of where he'd gone. Sonny wins it out.
3 kills for Sonny there. Pretty insane considering he was the player with the Desert Eagle. And as I mentioned, MIBR, they lost that round. Their money is done for. That's exactly what Mousesports needed. It started off so well as they managed to get 2 orb kills at the start. You feel like, okay, this is it now. They're stepping up, but it was Fur that really started to apply the pressure outside. Nice movement, took down the close-range players. I mean, saw Cold Zera with a free frag towards Ivy. But speaking of free frags, that's one. Low HP on Cold Zera and wins out in the difficult, awkward 1 versus 1 against Tarek. He knew that was a game over. He wins that round. That's why he's frustrated. He didn't have the upper hand there at all, but he knew he was capable of doing it. Low HP on Cold Zera and wins out in a difficult, awkward 1 versus 1 against Tarek. He knew that was a game over. He wins that round. That's why he's frustrated. He didn't have the upper hand there at all, but he knew he was capable of doing it. Low HP on Cold Zera and wins out in a difficult, awkward 1 versus 1 against Tarek. He knew that was a game over. He wins that round. That's why he's frustrated.
Clean sweep from Mousesports. That usually works if you have a read that teams are over-rotating. It's not really a Hail Mary that works often.
You need at least 1 trade there. And like, if they can get close to the side, sure it works. But Glock's no armor. It's a gambit. Doesn't work out. And we'll take a tactical timeout. Yanko wants to get involved here. As they take a sip of water, calm themselves down. This is the replay of the spam coming through and the boys having to look at the floor. It's not ideal.
Not really a Hail Mary.
But they didn't take any damage at least. That's a small victory. Here's Robs though, gutting them as they come through. No problem at all, no danger of that bomb being planted. I think it's another eco. And indeed it is. Deagle, PD50 purchase, that's about it. 1 smoke and a flash for Cold Zera. They're just discussing their options right now. This is not a round they can win necessarily. It's more about, let's buy a few smokes, some flashes, and if we do get the bomb down, preferably inside, we've got a Molotov post-plant situation. 21 kills of Stewie, just a great map for him so far. Coming to the closing stages here now. With the dramatic music. Single orb setup again. Money not great there. For Mass, for Rops. Orb for Oscar, of course. 2 for Masses, in fact. Sticker's got 1 as well. So there's actually quite a chance everyone might be able to find round number 50 with just pistols. All it takes is 1 missed shot from a CT. An opening found. A bomb planted, and then it can all fall apart very quickly if the terrorists can get close enough towards Connector. That's if they go inside. The current setup I see right now with the smokes and that 1 Molotov suggests they will go for that play, but they want to bait out some utility first. They don't want to just do it off the bat. They want to get rid of all the smokes. They possibly can just to avoid that Molotov being extinguished, perhaps. This is a wild speculation, by the way. They could be doing something completely different. That's just what I assume will happen. 1 smoke outside. They'll still commit towards inner. So just trying to show a little bit of presence outer. They've got a smoke still for lower ramp, even with Cold Zera showing his outside. Can we get the bomb, Tarek?
Yeah, please.
Come here.
Please, I've got something for you.
Good boy. Come on.
It's Christmas time. I got you a gift. Don't shake it violently. It might
Whatever
blow
you do not drop it.
It's very fragile. And if you type a specific number into it, which is why it's a toy, because you have to guess the number, it'll do a cool trick.
Cool trick. Well, they go outside with the bombs, so no inside antics here, but just a chance to plant. Chris J and Sunny denied the plant before.
I'm surprised he's not firing into that. And he's also expecting him to jump up.
There's a chance here.
Massive chance. Rops as well. Burning manages to get Stewie, but he's down to 15. That leaves him extremely vulnerable. Sunny thankfully emerges from smoke, gets cold, gets fur. Fur sometimes keeps you warm in the cold. And Sunny will take down Tarek. It's all 5 gone, and they'll get the defuse.
All 5 gone. That was a 5-on-5 post-plant situation. Incredibly efficient there from Mousesports. As we get a little bit deeper now, 14-9, knocking on the door double digits. Still those FAMASs, though, can be a little bit frustrating at times when you're winning consecutive rounds. You've got 3 in a row, your money's building up. You still got a FAMAS. They throw one away. So deciding to spend a little bit more cash there. So a FAMAS will be left in CD spawn. I was going to say, like, it can be frustrating. They've just bit the bullet and gone, you know what? Leave the FAMAS, bring out another rifle. We want to win rounds here. The money's not a huge factor. If we lose another round, we're still at map point. So we're going to be focusing more on the kills than anything. So that's a small nuance, but an important one, I would say. We'll get into it. Falling back on the AWP. 2 ecos there from LPR. Bomb planted the previous. The run boost comes in. And Oscar challenging low round, but good flash comes in to push him back.
Yeah, he'll go back inside of the site. Chris still holding out toward Ivy. Has to be careful. Sticker spotted. Fallen. They ran boost him. He got the position. He's got the position again for Chris, but a smoke down. There's no need to overcommit with an AWP. Just to note, first map already in favor of Ghost. It's 10-9 for Na'Vi right now, which is close. And you consider how slow they were to start against Order in this tournament and how much they got absolutely demolished, or how badly they got demolished by Mousesports. Na'Vi is not looking great at all at this event. 2 teams that are not really in their class. We're talking about the 3rd best team in the world. In some cases, the 2nd, depending on who you ask.
Yeah. Going
against teams outside of the top 30 currently. And struggling to put up numbers. It's fine to lose games every now and then, not when you're losing them to teams of that caliber.
It's not ideal, is it?
Certainly not. I hear jubilant cheers from the Ghost guys across the room at this moment as well, so that game's definitely going to be close. This one getting closer, 14 rounds. There's no overtime secured as of yet for MIBR, which means all the more chance for a return. That actually hit. Fur got tagged and put down to 28. Sunny, he's still slipping in. Knows, okay, there's one at least toward Evox. Bomb will be planted. That's an easy denial, and that's the round. 7 seconds. They were too slow to get there, and Sunny was perfectly placed. They try and run forward to recover the ball, but that's not going to happen, and Oscar confirms that doubly so by taking the man who grabbed it down.
That's so frustrating for them. They do everything perfectly up until that point. The fact they get outside, they find that nice pick. It seemed like everything's open, but Sunny, once again, pounces at the right moment. 8 seconds on the clock when he denied the bomb. Absolutely no chance of them planting it. And frustration continues here for MIBR as their woes continue. They're a 4th-stage loss bonus now. Mousesports definitely back into it, but we did say that. Even at, what, 14-6 or whatever it was, you're just like, well, as long as they win this particular round, on the CD side of train, they can pull it right back. MIBR won't be too worried yet, but the scoreline is getting closer and closer these rounds. Just getting separated by the absolute tiny details. The fact that Sunny can deny the bomb with a low amount of time there, and it looked like MIBR had the advantage, says it all. So they still save the AWP and the AK. They'll buy up what they can. Yanko's deliberating over the next round and what they can do. Tarek will stay on the CZ. Could have afforded Galil, but once the utility instead, that's the one kill that decided everything. As you saw, 6 seconds remaining. That's an Oscar. Good pounce as well. And finding an ultimate frag. There we go. As soon as they get to number 15, my opinion it's over because the money's so low.
Yeah.
But Oscar still has 7K to be fair.
It's haunting them though, isn't it? Oh my. They couldn't get there. Chris just sneaks up from sandwich, finds 2 boosts, hit a 3rd in the form of Cold Zera. This is getting a little hairy, I have to say. Mousesports map choice are showing that the CT side certainly is proficient. Locking them off this 15 as well is going to be an issue. Rops takes down Stewie. You said the money's low. This changes everything if Vault 5 stay alive here, because Oscar's got $7,000 to make that 10K post round. And that's going to give them a round in hand. So it's not necessarily done. Not only that, they now, if with a round in hand, give up 15, they can still reset and get to overtime.
So there's that pallet stack we saw from Mousesports in the first half. Chris J, very aware of those tricks, gets 3 with the AUG. Great individual performance from him. Here we go then. Round 26. Just CZs, a P250. This one's slipping away from MIBR. It was a very comfortable game. Now after giving up 5 rounds in a row, it's actually getting to be a bit of an awkward one. Zero taking damage to start. He might even burn to a crisp as they push towards Ivy. Great nade being deployed. There's a ton of damage towards Stewie and Fallen. They're all being removed one by one. Just Tarek remaining, and there it is. Clean round once again with all 5 players staying alive 2 times in a row.
So 2 times in a row, 13-5 now for Oscar pre-buy, post-round, and 14-12. Again, MIBR susceptible to a reset even if they secure this overtime point. Mousesports is in a good position to, at the very least, get overtime. They could still win this. No timeout called from MIBR. Electing to go with Fallen back on the AWP. The defaults haven't yielded much in terms of opening kills as of yet. Nade in. Good avoidance by Fur. Only takes fractional damage. Dished it out as well to Sticko. Rops boosted. Oh, he's up on top of the railing. I say boosted, self-boosted. Spotted Fallen on the AWP and then gets away from it because I think Fallen saw him in return, and look at how posed he is with that AWP. If he even oversteps the mark slightly, Rops, he's going to go down, but instead gets aggressive, knows his angles, and knows that Fallen couldn't see him from there. How does Cole not recognize the fact that he's up on top of the ledge after he found one already? Perhaps thought he dropped down. Either way, Fallen's going to find the same fate from the same hands, and Rops with 3 kills now leaves us with Tarek after Chris got one of his own. Another round and one between them, 14-13.
You can see MIBR, they're starting to look very cagey now. Making mistakes, not trading kills out. No one wants to be the player. They make the free kill available. Tarek goes to the plant here. I don't think he's got any chance of getting it down. Sticko will finish things off, and Rops, what a play that is. LMBT knows it. That was huge. You're right, though. Coldzera just assumed he'd fall back, but he was ready to fight. He knows if he knifes down and goes to one lower ramp, he's going to get chased. Well, he should have been at least. That should be a trade right there. Do not let him escape or reposition. But the fact he gets 3 is still very, very well done. You can see it getting to them now. MIBR struggled in the last few months. Still getting podium finishes and playoff placements, but still it's not where they want to be. They've had lots of these games. They have huge advantages, and it just seems to get ground down round by round. And they've got 1 AK here. That's for Coldzera. He's gone all in a simple like purchase. Pistols only. That's basically him saying, you know what? Let me handle this, boys. I'll get his to 15. But the orb is ready. Oscar's definitely getting a kill here.
Cold, man, if he's going to do it. It's going to have to be so impressive. Oscar, you're right. No mistake at all. Doubles up, falling down.
This is desperately trying to get a kill at this point. There's one. I don't think that plant's happening. You hunt him down. He might be able to get down in the nick of time. Okay, well, at least there's some money for Coldzera with the maximum loss bonus and the bomb going down now.
14-14, though. This is catastrophe.
Yeah, this will be tilting them off the face of the planet.
How many rounds in a row is that?
Difficult to count, Matt.
That's 8?
8, yes.
Whoa. At 14-6 to this.
That's, I'm happy I pointed out at the time. There's some maps like Train, this can happen. As soon as that double orb setup came out, I was like, okay, just win this round. MIBR are not as polished as they used to be back in the SK era. And if they find themselves in a rut and they can't win rounds, they lose a couple of blunderous ones to, like that one with the bomb being planted and Sunny denied it. They can get tilted and look very slow and out of their depth at times. Let's see if they're going to change things up, though. Didn't take a timeout here. Classic run boost. Been doing this for a while. No one there to receive it.
Almost was. They have the angle, though. Oh, he's going to give it up, though. Sticko's just waiting it out with the AUG. Wants to see if anyone commits down the lane. If he steps wide now, he might actually get Fallen because he's looking to the opposing side. Scoped in, in fact, so much so that he can't see exactly along the wall. That's why Tarek holds it instead. Smoke positioned, Fallen walks out. Incredible turn of events from Mousesports. From 14-6, 8 rounds in a row, we're at 14-14. And I'm not convinced by MIBR in the slightest.
If they lose this map, I dare say they're not coming back from it.
Inferno's not been a comfortable place for them.
That's why I've always criticized their pick of it. We see them in vetoes so often going into an Inferno as their pick, and I don't think they have the results necessary to really back it up and say that that's your go-to map. But either way, 30 seconds remaining. Mousesports now knocking on the door of victory. Flash will come out of Ivy. It's Sticko in a great position. Will the Flash catch him? Certainly not, it seems, as he'll actually recover, but Stewie will take him down. Smoke down. Time running away, though. This is Oscar. Can he step up? Doesn't get a chance to get the first kill, but oh my goodness, actually a couple of misses from him. 9 seconds still. He's going to be overwhelmed. The bomb will go down. It's a 4 versus 1.
They knew where Rops was. Cold with 3. He finally does something for his team that allows them to win out the rounds, and as a result of it, we go 15 for MIBR. All of that work to come back from only 6 rounds just to give up the overtime points, potentially map point to MIBR.
Oh my goodness. Overtime, very, very likely here. Obviously, Mousesports, after winning, 8 rounds in a row, they have more than enough money for everything to be purchased here. All the orbs, the rifles, the pistols, the defuse kits, absolutely everything. Buy it all. And we'll get into the next round and see what can be done here. Well, the MIBR getting through by the skin of their teeth for Mousesports with an absolutely epic comeback. 14-6 down, now it's 15-14. Yes, against them, but as soon as they get to overtime, everything's reset. And they'll have the moral advantage, I guess. We'll see what happens.
Do keep in mind that this is for a berth in the semifinals. The team that comes up shy of doing so will still be placed into the quarters. That means they have to play tomorrow. So you don't get the day off, you don't get the free pass. Chance to review some demos and work on potentially train if you're MIBR. So it's going to be Chris J just waiting with vision toward A main from Ivy. He's repositioned to try and cover off the same angle toward the former Tweedy entrance. Do you remember that? The birds used to chirp when someone walked down there. 1.6 noise triggers on this map. The dog would bark at Pop Dog.
I remember that.
The birds would chirp
on the bridge
on
Aztec. The lightning would strike if you walk across.
Yeah, just tell everyone where you are.
There was a way you could boost over that bridge without the sound trigger. You used to do that in 2-on-2 ladders.
Jump on the railings, right?
You had to do that, and your teammate would boost you over, and then you could like do it silently. But either way, let's maybe focus on this, as this is the final round of regulation. It's going to be MIBR the advantage. That's Rops, the anchor, the solid anchor going down to nothing. And Chris J, he'll burn. This could be it. 5-on-2, Sticko and Sunny out of position. It's all falling apart in the very last round.
I don't get the risk from Chris on that situation. I know he's trying to hit a shot to deny them the site, but it's so much to lose and very little perhaps to gain, because no way he was going to get out of it with at least going 1-to-1.
Demais lá, viu?
Eu fiquei com sinceras invejas, né?
Through its duration already, they've got to get on the right pace if they want to get toward the site. Fallen, pushing towards Z. Cold's already got Sticko, and Fallen finds the shots. They managed to pull it off. A heartbreaking defeat for Mousesports, coming back from 14-6, only to lose 16-14.
Yes, sometimes those can be even more gutting than is getting spanked 16-6 or something like that. But at least they've shown they could woken up. The problem is that was their pick. You can see how disheartened they look. They knew they had that in the palm of their hand. As soon as they got on their feet on the CT side, the double orbs came out. They were ready. They were looking sharp. And then at least that's promising for the rest of the series here. They can play Inferno, although it's not ideal without being their pick. But Train, I feel like with that comeback, it's always going to be the most disappointing way to finish, right?
It is pretty disappointing, but with that said, we will get to the order of business. We've got some breaks to take, and then we'll come back over to the desk. We'll see you in a minute.
Buy in